until he heard the doctor say that his ex-wife's surgery had a very low success rate. The man realized how he had misunderstood his wife all these years. His misunderstanding had brought him to the brink of losing the woman he loved most forever. Their relationship had begun as an office romance. After marriage, they had a lovely daughter. That day, his first love, using the excuse of a health check, arranged a paternity test for him and his daughter. However, the report showed that his daughter was not biologically related to him. Because of this, the mother and daughter were driven out of their home by the man. The woman explained that apart from being intimate with her husband, she had not been involved with any other man in all those years. She firmly believed that her daughter was her husband's child, but the man could not let go of this matter. He saw her as a deceiver who had betrayed his feelings. Looking at their daughter's aggrieved expression in the rearview mirror, the man couldn't help recalling all the moments they had shared as a family over the years. But when he thought of that DNA paternity report, he immediately rolled up the car window and pretended not to see. Little did he know that it had all been orchestrated behind the scenes by his first love. When they got home, the daughter, not wanting to upset her mother, comforted her mother and told her not to be sad. She said she could accept living without a father. Seeing her obedient daughter, the woman was deeply distressed. Her reluctance to part with her daughter grew even stronger. Not long ago, the woman had been diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctor had said that without surgery, she would have at most 6 months to live. She thought that her daughter would be unable to survive without her father's care. Instinctively, her head spun with dizziness, yet the woman still mustered enough strength to calm their daughter. After closing the door, she hurriedly swallowed a pill to suppress his headache. For the sake of their daughter's future, the woman decided to go find her husband. She hoped he would agree to do another paternity test with their daughter. The man refused her request, because he was about to marry his first love. He warned her never to bother him again. When she heard that her husband was going to remarry, the woman agreed to disappear from his life forever. But she had to prove her innocence. The man did not want to hear another word from her and ordered security never to let her set foot in the company again. Suddenly, the woman began to have a nosebleed, because his misunderstanding of his wife ran too deep. The man assumed she was faking it to gain his sympathy. As her condition worsened and her memory faded to the point that she could only rely on a notebook, she realized she could no longer delay securing her daughter's future. She had intended to leave her daughter in her mother's care before she could even speak. Her mother called asking her for $500,000 as a bride price for her brother's wedding. The woman told her mother she had a terminal illness and was going to die. Her mother showed no concern and instead accused her of lying. After hanging up, the woman was overwhelmed with grief. She realized that in this world, no one truly cared for her except her daughter. The next day, while her daughter was still asleep, she finished getting ready and called her daughter to go to school, only to find that her daughter was gone. In fact, her daughter had overheard news of her terminal illness. So, early that morning, she had gone to her father's company to seek help. The man thought his wife had deliberately taught their daughter to lie to him like that. At that moment, the woman called to say their daughter was missing. She was only relieved when she learned her daughter was with him. However, he still refused to take custody of their daughter and told his wife to take her away immediately. Just as their daughter was crying her heart out, the woman hurried to fetch her and take her home. Seeing the pitiful sight of the mother and daughter, the man ordered his assistant to redo the DNA paternity test report, so that someone would care for their daughter. The woman decided to undergo the surgery. As she finished her checkup and walked out of the doctor's office, she suddenly encountered the man and his first love coming in for their premarital examination. The first love intended to invite her to their wedding. She immediately declined and wished them happiness. Watching her departure, the first love felt especially content. At that moment, the man overheard from the doctor that his wife's surgery had a very low success rate.